Power Virtuoso is one of the best power builds to play right now. And this build here in particular is very fun because it combines the very fluid playstyle of the spear with the very fast and very nice classical gameplay of the Greatsword. And currently it does a lot of damage. It reaches 44k, which is one of the highest damaging builds in PvE right now. Also has crazy good bursts and a lot of CC. So if you're interested, be sure to watch the whole video to not miss out a thing about this build. As always, special shout out to all my supporters on YouTube, Twitch and Patreon that helped me keep the lights on. And now, without much further ado, let's jump straight in. So if you played the Power Virtuoso before, this build is very similar. We just exchange our dagger sword offhand for Greatsword. Both of them are still viable, don't worry, but this build is a little bit stronger right now. So let's take a look at the gear. So for gear, you want to run full Berserker with Rune of the Dragon Hunter. There is only one exception to full Berserker, which is your leggings. This should be Assassin as well. And full power infusions if you can afford them. However, you want to go for Fortress size infusions. If you can't afford infusions, you would just swap the boots, for example, to Assassin. And you will be fine anyway. Link to the exotic version of this build is of course in the description as well. For the relic, you want to go with Relic of Fireworks, just the most amount of damage that you can get. For your weapons, like I said, we want to run Spear and Greatsword, both of which should be Berserker with Accuracy and Force Sigil, just the most amount of damage you can get. Of course, if you're playing Fractals and stuff, you can swap the Force Sigil for the corresponding Slaying Sigil if you really want to go try hard. Regarding your consumables, as always for power build, you would go with Slanto Lime Sous Vide Steaks for the power and ferocity, and 66% chance to steal life on critical hit. If you can't afford the ascended version, you would go with Bowl of Sweet and Spicy Butternut Squash Soup. Same stats, just lose the lifesteal and a little bit of damage from it. For the utility consumables, you would go with Superior Sharpening Stones or something that gives similar amount of stats. By the way, if you want to see more guides like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. But now to the traits. For the traits, you want to run almost exactly the same traits as the Power Virtuoso with Spear, Dagger, Sword. However, you would go Domination, Dueling, Virtuoso, and then we already have the first part that changes here. Bountiful Blades is the thing that you take over Empowered Illusions, just because you want to get 2 Phantasmal Berserkers out. That's the important part. Also, you want to get another bounce on your Mirror Blade. Other than that, you get a lot of vulnerability application here. You get some nice boon removal and damage increase when you CC. That's really good. Keep that in mind. You have a lot of CC in your kit, and all of them remove 2 boons, so it's really, really good, especially in Fractals when there's no pain, no bane, for example. Then you get some nice damage increase here. Dueling gives a lot of damage increases as well, some nice vigor uptime. You get some fury to yourself permanently, also for your allies, helps your support a little bit to actually ease the fury excess. You get some fury to phantasms. You get some very minor DPS increase by this one. And you get superior complexity, which is really important to just get a lot of crit damage out. On Virtuoso, you take again the power traits, so you get more damage. You get Phantasmal Blade. Whenever you cast a Phantasm, you will actually shoot out a blade that deals some nice damage and this gives some fury. Your fury is enhanced, it gives you 15% more crit chance, and you gain ferocity based on vitality 10%. That's why it's really important if you want to min-max to go for the Jadebot Core tier 10, because you get more vitality and this is converted to ferocity and will therefore give you more damage as well. Get some nice damage buff here as well when you cast the Blade Song. And last but not least, Infinite Force, more damage. You refund 2 blades when you cast Blade Song with 5 blades. And that's really nice as well. And you get some passive blades. So overall, really damaging traits, of course. I will quickly cover the utility skills now. Of course, always go for Signet of Ether to reset your illusions. Go for the Phantasmal Disenchanter for the boon removal, but most importantly for the damage. And it's a phantasm, so it shoots out the blade. Then you have Rain of Swords, crazy good damage skill. And then you use Mantra of Pain for the instant cast damage when you casted it once. Then you have 1000 Cuts for very strong instant cast damage as well. That is even unblockable. So if you want to swap stuff around, of course you can go for Blink, you can go for Reflect with Feedback. You have a lot of, you even have invulnerability or some more boon removal with Arcane Theory. You can even bring stabilities. You're very flexible. You don't need to take the Mantra of Pain. It's a damage increase, of course, but you don't need to take it. So if you, for example, need a portal for your allies, it's also very worthwhile to do that. And if you need a lot of CC, you can, of course, go for more Signet. Then your weapon skills, of course, Illusionary Wave, only use it if you need CC or you want to proc your Fireworks Relic, but typically use your 4, 3, and 2 for a lot of damage. Be aware though, this is the very important disclaimer here. Mirror Blade is the reason why this build is extremely strong on the Golem. So if you are solo and you are benchmarking, this build should reach with full infusions 46k. I'm not joking. This is really, really high. because it has crazy damage. But I will link a forum where someone explains very detailed that this skill is bugged and it actually decreases the damage by quite a bit if there are allies around. So this build now reaches 44k with allies, so keep that in mind. And if you're benchmarking on your own, you have to go for a higher number because actually the number is, so to say, skewed by this skill being bugged and so to say worse in an allied situation. But other than that, of course, a lot of damage on those skills. Then of course Spear 2 skill empowers the next Spear skill. That is not the auto attack if you hit with the auto ring. So typically you want to use it on the Phantasmal Lancer because then it will create 2 illusions. They deal a lot of damage, remove boons, and the 3 skill does damage, heals, is an evade, and condition removes really overloaded, and the 5 resets your 2 skill, really strong as well, and is also stuns if you empower it. Overall, you should always use your F1 and also F2, F3, and F5 if you have 5 blades, because they also proc your Fireworks Relic, except the F1. And the F4 can also be used if you are in melee range, but typically I would keep it for the invulnerability. When it comes to the rotation, you would start with the opener, casting Phantasmal Disenchanter into Imaginary Inversion and Blade Turn Vacuum while you cast it. Use Mind the Gap, Phantasmal Lancer, and Power Spike and 1000 Cuts. Then you use Mental Collapse, so your 5 skill into your 2 skill on Spear, and weapon swap. And then you're in your Greatsword loop. So on Greatsword you always want to cast Phantasmal Berserk and Signal of Ether, and then Phantasmal Berserk again. Use Mind Step into Mirror Blade, and then your Phantasmal Harmony, Rain of Swords, and Phantasmal Disenchanter. When you reach 5 blades after that, you want to use Bladesong Sorrow, and when Power Spike is up to 2 charges again, you should use it because it's instant cast. Use your Mirror Blade when it comes off cooldown. The same goes for Mind Step. And use Bladesong when you have 5 blades. Use your Phantasmal Berserker into Mirror Blade, and then you swap weapon to your Spear. On your Spear, you want to follow the loop of Phantasmal Lancer into Mind the Gap, because from the opener or from the last Spear loop, you actually carry over your Clarity buff, so you instantly want to use your Phantasmal Lancer into Mind the Gap, into Imaginary Version. Then Bladesong Harmony with Power Spike, do some auto attacks until Mind the Gap is up, use it, then use Mental Collapse and get the reset on your 2, use the 2 skill again, do some auto attacks, and fill with Blade Turn Requiem if you have 5 blades up. Then cast the Phantasmal Disenchanter into Phantasmal Lancer and Power Spike. Before you swap your weapon, you want to cast 1 Imaginary Inversion into 1000 Cuts whenever it's available. And the last thing on the Spear loop would be the Mind the Gap again, and then you weapon swap and complete the loop. This build is very fun to play, I like it a lot. I know for a fact there are people that don't enjoy this dagger sword playstyle, so I think this is the build for you. It's really fun to play, it's really strong, it has a lot of CC, and I feel like it's the very classic Mesmer playstyle enhanced by the Spear. So I personally think that's one of my all-time favorite builds. Let me know if you like this build as well. And if you do, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. As always, thanks again to all my supporters on YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon, and I hope to see you all in the next video.